Ya'at. Welcome to today's reading. We are going to do a holiday karma reading yet again. And we're going to change it up tomorrow for the reading. So, let's take a look at the collective. Then we'll get into our two options. Okay. Let's see what we need to know for the collective. What kind of karma is coming in for those that have been disrespectful, as in they've overlooked the collective, because that's what disrespectfulness translates to etymologically. Okay. Boom, bam. Here we go. What do we got? We got the King of Cups in the upright, Seven of Wands in the reverse. So that's Seihai no O for the King of Cups and Bo no Nana in reverse. Well, in terms of the sort of lesson that somebody else is going to need to learn from overlooking the collective, this person or these people or this situation is going to have to reevaluate themselves emotionally and see that they have this great potential to be a loving, caring, compassionate person. And that with the Seven of Wands here, that in this case, this is coming through like some sort of a old trauma. So they're going to see that with Seven of Wands in reverse, specifically, Bo no Nana, they're going to see that they need to release this trauma. That's a pretty quick and easy message that we got here, first of all. Let's see if we can get a little more insight. Okay. We got Koka no Yun in reverse. That's the Four of Pentacles in reverse. And that specifically is saying that they need to be more charitable. They need to be more... And when it comes to pentacles, a lot of people look at it as money. Me, per se, I look at it as energy, because Monai is the one eye, as in the third eye. What are we, with our conscious, God-given mind and vessel, vision, what are we seeing? What are we investing our energy in? So, their karma is that they're gonna have to reevaluate where they're investing their energy, especially based on this sort of trauma that they're projecting onto you or the collective. Okay, Five of Pentacles in reverse. Koka no Go in reverse. And so again here, with another Pentacles card, this is a progression, 4 to 5. And with that, 5 is a card of transition. So they're going to have to come to a point where they come out of this limbo that they've been holding themselves in energetically, especially in regards to what they've done to you, what they've been doing to you, and or what they're doing to you now. And with this progression of their energy and where they expend it, it goes from them needing to be more charitable in the proper way, based on healing their own trauma, facing it, and then at the same time moving into this space of feeling unworthy and reevaluating this worthlessness that they are bringing into the situation that they are projecting onto you. Okay, let's get... There we go. Seihai no Ju, and that's the Ten of Cups in the upright. So this person has this ability, much like having Seihai no O in the upright. They have this ability to be a very caring, compassionate person, to be very giving with their emotions, to be a good role model, to be a good support system. So much like that, they have this ability to experience a lot of joy, to manifest a lot of joy. And with their karma is that they have to go through this transition of being giving as they are supposed to be giving when they are not in fear of people wounding them, like their old traumas or some sort of situation wounding them. And then move into a space where they feel worthy of being a compassionate person, of reciprocating that. Because they don't feel worthy enough of your respect, ultimately, which is why they are treating you in that way. And so they're going to have to come to this realization here with the Ten of Cups in the upright of what it is they truly want out of this relationship, or what this situation, whatever, you know, what it wants out of this connection with you. Or rather, what you have come to represent. Because if you're no longer in this situation that you're reflecting on here, then, you know, it's more of a hindsight sort of thing. Alright, we'll get one more card and then we'll move on to the options. Onna Kyoko. Onna Kyoko. And that is the High Priestess in the upright. And underneath on the bottom of the deck, we got the Hierophant in the upright. That is Kyoko. So we got Onna, Kyoko, and Kyoko. Now linguistically, because using a Japanese deck here, this is a good synchronicity. This is a good synchronicity regarding the role that you've been playing in this karma, that because ultimately a lot of the reasons why people treat us poorly is because they are trying to learn a lesson through us, because they are not at a point where they're ready to take responsibility for whatever it is that they are hurting about, and therefore they feel that you or whatever are a threat. Right? That's how that's how a threatened ego from trauma works, right? So Onna no Kyoko in the very center is talking about, to me, I always see this as intuition, and in this case there is a progression here of upgrading the mind and energy of the life force here. And so this is an affirmation that they have to go through this spiritual transformation. That is their karma. So that's the karma that's going to be working in your favor, is that while you are progressing on your journey, they are coming to this ultimatum within themselves where they start to see their potential, and they're like, oh, I could like... So it's basically what the Christmas Carol. If you know the Christmas Carol story, or what the yeah, I think that's what it's called. Right? With the Scrooge in it. So they basically are going to have a Scrooge moment a little bit. And yeah, so with the underlying energy, of course, being another sort of Kyoko, this emperor, I don't remember specifically what this translates to, Kyoko, but I guess in this case it's Hierophant, right? So linguistically at the very center here, I have pulled the female Hierophant, the woman Hierophant, if we translate it literally. And then underneath. So there is a good balance linguistically between the masculine and the feminine here, right? Because I think that the magician is majoshi, so it's like linguistically different. Okay, anyway, so there is a masculine and feminine, so they're gonna have this internal moment. Basically, their karma is first and foremost is that they're going to internally have this moment, whether it be through dreams, visions, daydreams, feelings, whatever, and anything that could be of a sort of the energy coming inward. They're going to have that realization, and then they're going to come to a point where they start to update their model and their expression. Now, I can't guarantee how great that updating is going to be, but the thing is that they're going to be given this sort of responsibility ultimately to have to update. And we all have to move in accordance with that as best as possible. Otherwise, God will have to adjust the contract when this responsibility is not taken. So, yes, they're going to have to be responsible for themselves. More responsible. That is their karma. Alright, that concludes the collective reading. And then I'm going to go ahead and shuffle this, pause, and then we're going to pick up with the options. Alright, so for the 2 options, we have 2 kitties again today. Kitty number 1 is a pink kitty with a thin tail, and they got angel wings on and a halo headband on. Alright, and then option number 2 is an orange kitty laying down with a green cap with fuzz on the trimming and a fluff ball on top, white, and then a green and yellow scarf around the neck with a little flare there. Yeah, little squiggly line and a couple polka dots on it, 3 dots. Alright, so your options are number 1, pink kitty, pink angel kitty. Option number 2, orange kitty with a nice little green Santa hat and a green and yellow scarf. Yes. Oh, and the pink kitty actually has blue irises, or like sclera. The scleras of the pink kitty is blue for whatever reason, like sky blue. Anyway, Ya'at to those who have chosen option number 1, the pink kitty, pink angel kitty. Let's get into your reading. So what kind of karma is coming in for you to save your behind? Oh my. We got Koka no Nana. And that is the 7 of Pentacles. 7 of Pentacles is a card about diligence, patience. In this case, with it being in reverse, it's showing that this person may have not been very patient with you or the situation. Like they've been trying to speed things along in some sort of way. So it may be that they're gonna see that they gotta start slowing down, be more considerate of how they're spending their time and energy, especially when it comes to respecting people, since this is about karma or respecting a situation or the situation or whatever. So let's get a little more insight. Bonojo is the Queen of Wands in the upright. Yeah, so they're gonna be seeing the queen, okay? Are you the queen? Because I think that is what is coming through here. You're the queen? Well, they're gonna be... Because this card can actually be about being inspired by a muse, you know? or about, I think that muse technically in its original foundation of what the word meant, it wasn't about being inspired by somebody, but it was rather about being like a go-getter on their own kind of deal. Something like that. I don't know that much about that. I think I gotta revisit that. But I digress. Basically, if we look at it from the perspective that this is their energy, then that means that they gotta be seeing how much of an impact that they have on others. So maybe you looked up to this person at one point, right? Maybe you looked up to them and they let you down. And that's something that they gotta see, that they have not been as diligent as they could be when it comes to seeing you, interacting with you, engaging with you. And they're gonna have to come to terms with the fact that you're somebody, or they are somebody that you've been looking up to and you've been really admiring and wanting to aspire to be like, or somebody you trusted, and they let you down. They let you down. Kokan no jo, or Kokan no kojo is the Page of Pentacles in reverse. And the Page of Pentacles is a card about beginning in terms of the court cards of the earth element, the beginning phases of learning how to be more invested in being a physical being in this world. So it's like saying that this person never really learned how to become who they need to be. And they've just been going at it, being an inspiration for other people without really holistically evaluating their engagement with themselves or with, other people, how they socialize, how their actions and their words affect others, but especially their actions here, because there's a lot of pentacles coming through. But also how they spiritually manifest themselves with people, since we have the Queen of Wands. So their karma is that they in a tragic way have been dealt karma as a child, as in like family karma, for example. Like their family treated them a certain way, or something like that, and it ended up making them treat you in a disrespectful way, because that's all they ever learned. So their karma is that they gotta see that this is a chain reaction here. They have to learn that they never really learned how to be accumulating dharma with you rather than karma. Yeah. And as soon as I said that with you, right? I said with you specifically, and Seihai no Ni came up, and that is the Two of Cups in the upright. So they their karma is that they gotta basically have this clarity. They have to have this clarity with who they are, how they treat you, how they treat others, how their relationships with their spouse affects you. So this could be, somebody that is married or in a relationship, a serious relationship, and they treat you funny because of whatever sort of dynamic that they have with that other person. So they gotta see how they accumulate karma as well as a couple with other people. Or this could be siblings, right? This could be somebody that's really close to somebody else, or that has a best friend, etc., etc., etc. And they're accumulating bad karma with you. Like, why you gotta do that? But it's obviously not really just with you if it's showing that they don't have a good foundation here. Like, they don't really learn their lessons. That's what it looks like. Okay. Oh boy. So we got death in reverse. Shinigami. Shinigami in reverse. And that is about, well, endings, new beginnings, and all that. So with this coming up in the reverse, it's showing that they're going to have to face this karmic situation that they have been fueling. They have to face it. So this basically shows that there is a deadline coming up for this situation. And then they will have to be forced into going through this new chapter. So as in that, it's like they never learn their lessons. Their karma is that they're going to have to learn their lesson now. Like, time is of the essence. Like, they still, basically, at the time that you're listening to this reading, it's a timeless reading. At the time that you're listening to this, they are in a situation where it's like red wire, blue wire, green wire. That's where they're at. The clock is ticking. They gotta figure out which wire to cut. is where they're at. Okay. Now let's go. And that means that they're gonna get, like, the lesson. It's like, oh, you didn't learn it the first 20 times? Okay, let's do the lesson and let's see if you learn it this way. Okay. I suppose I'll take it neutrally, right? So, ken no yon. Ken no yon. Because it came out in my hand in a neutral way. Let's do it like that. And this is about building a foundation within oneself mentally. In, like, a healthy foundation where information comes in, information goes out. Information comes in, information goes out. But at the same time, this is a card about reflection, meditation, rest, especially if one is exhausted. All these energies about basically recalibrating the air energy within oneself and creating a new foundation of that. So this person is probably going to be very exhausted as it gets closer and closer to this death card coming upright and being expressed in an active manner. And yeah, especially since this card is pointed towards, the top of the card is pointed towards the death card. So it's like saying, like, they're gonna need to rest and reflect and prepare for this ending that they're going to have to go through. And there is a great affirmation on the bottom of the deck here. We have Seikai, and that is the world. That the world in the upright. So that is in the major arcana, the completion of all the archetypes. So they are going to come to a completion of this archetype that they've been embodying. And they're going to have to, much like the goblin in Spider-Man, either take off the mask or the mask will get them. Because he died of his own blade. Of his own volition. He tried to kill Spider-Man and he died of his own glider coming in. Spider-Man did the whoop and boom. Dead. So, you know, they're gonna have to go through this ego death and hit the wall like Coyote from the Roadrunner. Or what is it? I don't remember what that show's called, but Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner. You know? He be trying to get the Roadrunner, but he be hitting the wall. So this concludes your reading for those who have chosen number 1, the Pink Angel Kitten. Ahehe gikowapameninwa. Yaat-e, to those who have chosen option number 2, the orange kitty with the green Santa hat and the green scarf with yellow stripes. Let's take a look at what kind of karma is coming through to rescue you from your blue days. A gloomy hue. Okay. So let's see. Karma. What do those that have disrespected you, overlooked you, wronged you, hurt you with their insensitivity, with their own woundedness, what it is that God is going to dish out for them? So they have to learn. How are they going to be corrected? By the divine universe, by the ancestors, by the guides. Let's take a look. We got Bon no Kishi. Bon no Kishi is the Knight of Wands in the upright. And this is a passionate, fun, playful energy. And it represents somebody that is not really that mature in terms of their own mastery of the self. And then we have Ken no Ni, which is the Two of Swords in the reverse. And that symbolizes a choice that's being made. And this choice is a very serious one. However, it's showing that with it being in the reverse, that this is a choice that has been made in the past. So their karma is that huge decision that they have made in the past, which was not a good one. Clearly this choice has to do with the karma that we're reading into today. They've made a choice in the past that has led us to this point where they've wounded you so much that you need to look into what kind of karma is going to be salvaging your wounds or aiding to your wounds to prevent this person from creating more wounds like they did within you. So, this person's immaturity in terms of their self-mastery, in the poor choices that they've made to hold on to this immaturity, is going to come to light. So let's get some more messages here. Alright, we got 2 3s in reverse. That's 3 of Cups in reverse and the 3 of Wands in reverse. Let's say Hai no San, Bo no San, both in reverse. And 3 of Cups is like a unity card. It's about coming together, collaboration, healing. And then we have the 3 of Wands in reverse, which is a card about planning, working together on long-term goals, taking one's time, meditation, things of that nature, investing in one's spiritual goals. And with both of these in reverse, it's showing that they have been working against healing with you, healing with other people. They have been working against being able to actually plan on having a future together with you or with those that are you're connected with. So it's showing that in the long term, they're not really going to be able to be there to heal. They're not really going to be able to be there with other people. So though it's looking like they quite likely are going to be living somewhat of a lonely life as long as they're staying in this energy. They're not going to be able to be around people like you that will hold them to standards of being a pretty good person. So let's get like 1 or 2 more cards and we'll close it out. Yeah. So 3 is also a card of creation because it goes from 1 to 2, and then 3 is the big boom where we move out of the sort of linear dimension. And so it's showing that this person is going to be staying in a linear dimension and they're not going to try to progress. They could potentially in the future, but it's just showing there's going to be stagnancy with this person. Seven of Cups at the center. Seihai no Nana. And with that being in the upright, that's showing that this person has a lot of opportunities. They're going to have a lot of opportunities to make amends with you. So their karma is that they're going to be given many different karmic lessons throughout their life in accordance to this specific karma that you're asking about. So if they don't get it right when you walk away from them, or even if you have to put up with them, if they're not going to get it right now, there's going to be another 6 more lessons to come if they pour this cup out, for example. So that's what I see there. Let's get one more card to cross that as a neutral energy to show what kind of energy you, as the querent, is putting towards this situation. Or them. Rather, let's go with them, because I want to keep it consistent. Let's look into their energy. we don't need to see what you do. Well, we already did the Dharma reading. We'll do that again later. Alright, one more. Okay. I guess we'll take 2. And we got Ken no O, and that's the King of Swords. And then we got Shinigami, the Death card. So these are both neutral cards. Neutral energies. And that... so the King of Swords is about having this mature awareness and ability to communicate one's own consciousness and to be transparent, to be very mindful, to be very, very, very clear in one's mind and in the head. So this is showing that with this crossing the central energy along with the Death card, both crossing the central energy, this is the energy that they're giving right now towards this situation. So they're under the impression that they are very they're under the impression that they're very intelligent, and they're under the impression that they've already overcome whatever it is that they think that they're overcoming. Or they're just like, you know, who cares, I'm gonna die soon anyway. Because you could be looking into like an older person that is technically closer to dying than they would be if they were younger or something of the sorts like that. So this could be somebody that's just like, who cares, I'll drag everybody down with me, I don't care. Either way, this is showing that this person thinks that they know it all, thinks that they have it all, thinks that they're mature and all of that. But it turns out they're really not. So they're gonna have to go through this huge ego death. So the energy they're putting forth right now is unconsciously they're actively working towards an ego death by kind of exposing themselves to themselves. Now, with the underlying energy, it's showing that they gotta be more generous with their energy, because we have Kokan no Yon, the 4 of Pentacles in reverse. They have to be more compassionate, they need to be more easygoing. They need to loosen up a bit so that they can actually mature a little bit more, because a part of maturing is to not take things too seriously, but to take them seriously enough to where we can actually handle them properly and then move forward. So yeah, that's their karma, is that they're going to be given several opportunities to heal this. But until then, they're going to have this sort of stagnant energy where they're inhibiting themselves from healing with you and other people in this regard. So, yeah. That concludes the reading for those who have chosen number 2 and or number 1 and that have gone through the collective. Ahehe, gikuwabamin minua.